big titty genies, a princess getting cut up, and Granny bites the big one. Episode 5 of Magi. Alright, so this particular episode, I enjoyed it more or less. It wasn't the most exciting, to be honest with you. It had its moments, but for the most part, I really didn't care for the fact that this was more so an internal struggle, and Aladdin happened to be there. It wasn't really his problem, but we do get to see more character development with the character, and we do get more connections to the outer story as well, so that was pretty interesting. But I didn't really care so much for the, I guess, struggle. It was nice to find out who killed the old lady and whatnot. It was that Ryosai guy, and he was trying to pull this whole ruse and whatnot. And to be honest with you, I feel like I've seen that many times in like movies and such, so that wasn't the most original, and it didn't really come off as too interesting for me, to be honest with you. It was cool to find out that he was the one that did it, and it wasn't really shocking at all. It was just like, oh, he was one of the suspects, I guess. And it kind of really felt, to be honest with you, this particular episode, and I guess this little mini arc, you could say, or whatever, of Aladdin being in this town, kind of felt very westernized. And it kind of, in a way, gives me hope that Magi can do really well in other parts of the world, because they added a lot of western elements. So that'll maybe, in the US in particular, and possibly even the UK, it could really do well, and people get more into it, like the mainstream, because this felt very westernized. It felt like something that can be, eaten up by the mainstream, so to speak. And I guess that was pretty interesting. But for the most part, this episode, Granny lives after that shot to the back by Ryosai, comes back and kind of like subsides the war, but Ryosai is pretty much just trying to take over. The princess comes, gets slashed up, which, by the way, I really like that Magi doesn't hold back. The princess gets slashed right here on the leg. She just gets tore up. She gets shot with like 4 different arrows. So definitely like that the violence, they don't tone it down. A lot of series like to tone it down. No blood. They're going to get shot by an arrow and pull it out, and there's not even going to be anything. No, this particular episode, there was a lot of blood, a lot of violence, and I'm glad that they didn't hold back. And it's like, even a princess gets it. So Magi is not the most child-friendly, so to speak, as far as that goes. Blood, gore, and just some craziness in it. Pretty simple solution to Ryosai. I was a little disappointed with that. It was like he was getting ready to get her, and then Aladdin comes in with his Djinn Ugo and just like slaps him and seemingly kills him, because he looks like all like his arms and legs and head is twisted and broken on the floor. So it was a big build up to then just get slapped by the Djinn, which Aladdin could have done all along, which of course he wasn't going to do it unless, it was he had to. So it was a build up to, I guess, not that big of a payoff, because the villain just gets sideswiped right then and there. And once again, the pacing feels very fast again. Last episode didn't seem too fast. This episode, they sped it up, which it was good in a way, because overall, again, this is just this little town's little struggle, and it kind of doesn't really fit well with the entire story, because it's just like one problem here, and it's not really, like, it's affecting Aladdin in a way that he's getting to learn himself more, but overall it doesn't really matter to the overall story with Alibaba and Morgiana, which, by the way, next episode, Morgiana is going to be a lot in there, and I can't wait, because I've been dying to see more of her. And I believe Alibaba might be in it as well, because I heard in the preview him say, hey, where's my scenes? So I don't know if he is or isn't, but I'm waiting for that. Can't wait for that. But overall, this episode really wasn't the most important to the overall story, but it still was semi-enjoyable. I liked the little struggle. I did feel, I'm not going to lie, which is really good, I really felt for the old lady passing away and seeing all those people crying around her, because even though we only got like 2 episodes with her, to see an old lady that was really nice like that, trying to bring peace, get slaughtered, shot in the back, and then eventually she dies, it really got me. I didn't cry or anything like that, but I really felt bad, and I felt like, damn, that's really, messed up. So good job on that particular part. And even to see Aladdin cry after he talks to her spirit there, that was pretty, intense as well. I really liked that. It was really just a sad thing. Definitely got to say that. It was done very well in that aspect. I really liked that. And overall, the episode, a lot of interesting stuff, but we don't get an overall, I guess, plot point, as far as the main plot, until the very end, when that big-breasted and her tits are out and everything, Djinn comes out, and automatically it's starting to remind me, and it's based on the same story of the actual Aladdin cartoon that, was big and whatnot, because you got the Djinns look very similar to them, and this big-breasted one comes out and looks similar, the blue skin and everything like that, like the genies from the lamps. So that was pretty interesting, and she comes and she's like, I believe the princess is probably going to have more of an important role, because I think that was hers, and she says, I serve her. And we also get to see that one guy with the black and whatnot. I believe he's also a Magi, and I can't wait to see more of him because he seems like an interesting character. We don't get too much time with him, but from what we did see, he looks pretty interesting, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen and if he's going to have a bigger role and whatnot. Again, overall episode was decent, not the most like best episode or anything like that. I was a little disappointed with Ryosai just getting killed off like that. But to see Aladdin get character development, that was really great. That was a great point that he finally says, you know, I'm a Magi. That's what I am. That's who I am. So I can't wait to see more of that. And the little flashback with Ugo was interesting as well. I like that, seeing Ugo with his head. He looked kind of cool. It definitely has that hair. Like his hair kind of reminds me of the original Aladdin from the actual story Aladdin and whatnot. But there's comparisons obviously because they're both based on the same story. I believe Arabian Nights. And overall, again, decent episode. Can't wait to see more of Morgiana next week, though. I can't wait for that. And Alibaba, that's going to be awesome. Let me know what you thought of the episode. Were you disappointed with Ryosai getting killed off easily? But at the same time, were you impressed that seeing, already Aladdin, 5 episodes, got character development? I mean, they're rushing it. They definitely are. Very fast-paced. But it's good to see that he's getting character development quickly because character development is always good and it shows maturity in the character. And the writing definitely shows that, there's actual time passing by and characters are moving onward. But that's all I have for this quick review. Magi episode 5 in a nutshell. Funny, cool elements, a little bit of importance to it towards the end, and decent. But I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.